Alright, now we've got White Rabbit Gaming playing against the Bros. The Bros, they actually have a player called Yopego, which is another player, the team I casted last season for Dynamic. So we got Casper from there and Yopego on the opposite side. Defunct, which was the third of Dynamic, is also in this tournament, playing for Apex. So that roster, they went all their separate ways and they found three different teams making the regional, and they look like good teams as well. Christian, he'll start off the series with the first goal, getting the lead for the Bros. White Rabbit Gaming, they will be trailing to start off this one after beating him to the ball. Casper in a bit of a 1v1 situation. Looks like his first touch was a little bit too hard. That'll make the play a little bit too hard as well. Here, good bump here. Looks like opponents were just simply too fast. Christian, another shot, and it will be on target, just below the bar. And like only 40 seconds in, and the Bros already 2-0 up. Not an ideal start for White Rabbit Gaming, but we regain. Casper actually able to get rid of that player entirely, but Yopego does basically the same to Kino. Ball ends up in the blue corner. Scepter giving that slightly away, but it looks like the challenge won't do too much. Player progresses into the orange half. Good 50 from Scepter. Looks like nobody on his team was on it. He was able to get a good touch off to the side to retain possession. Good challenge here by Abs. I'm gonna say that means Abs. Whenever there's numbers in names, I actually don't know how to say the name, but I'm just gonna assume that means Abs. Any chat agreeers? Any helpers? Shot a little bit wide. Scepter wasn't able to shoot it either. You know, being patient there, actually getting a bit of a wonky touch, but it could have potentially worked out. Was not bad whatsoever. Shift to the backboard. Kino's got absolutely nothing in the tank. Scepter having to 50 that one off to the side on the sidewall. Looks like can't get too much going. Crusher with a good demo as well. Abs slightly off target. It was practically a free net, but they do still maintain the lead. We're already on 2, so it doesn't really matter too much now, but it might come back to bite them in the future. Kino with touch into the midfield. Casper beat into that ball. Still able to get a 50 off there. Gets it no further. Abs, it seems, gets one touch over Kino. Oh no, actually, you got a touch over Kino, but Kino still able to demo him, so to stop that play instantly. Trying to get that bump, but it didn't matter. Slightly off target from Kino again, and so far looks like a lot of off-target shots coming in from both teams. Really seems like somebody's gonna get another highlight play very soon. You know, just sticking around upfield there, just trying to be annoying, trying to get the opposing side a little bit frustrated and rattled. Force a mistake out, which often it does, but Christian, what a shot into the top corner. It's a hat-trick for him. They're not ideal. Recovery not ideal. And in the same position as another teammate, so the team's positioning also not ideal. And they really do deserve being 3 goals down here. Not a good start whatsoever from White Rabbit Gaming. Pass it to the midfield, saved easily. Casper potentially a bit too desperate here, and the mentality will probably shift after considering all those goals as well. White Rabbit Gaming might have to force themselves to be a little bit desperate here, as it seems. Here another pass, and Yopego will be able to finish it off. And it's just utter domination coming out from the Bros. Pass it to the backboard. Kino unable to react to that fast enough. Four goals down now. Oh, Scepter going for that backboard. Casper has it open net and he misses it. Kino, can he get it on target? Thank God. We Casper got away with murder there. Jesus. It was slightly awkward, but you know, we're gonna put the floor of our standards somewhere. It has to be above that. Oh my, but yeah, I mean, this game, it's not really felt like the bros have kept White Rabbit in their half. It's just been whenever the bros have been in offense, it feels like they just score. It's just like that simple. They just score. I mean, what can I say? They're just built different. So overall, I feel like, you know, if you talk about possession or opportunities, I feel like it's been somewhat similar, but for White Rabbit, it's been more like half opportunities, whereas for the bros, it's been clear cut, and they strike every time. Here, a very good demo here coming out from Abs. Another a little bit awkward, but Scepter gives it fine, clears it out. Here, good pass to Christian. Gets another shot off Kino, able to save that one. Like, not with the best touch there, and kinda gave away possession, but it looks like the clearance did exactly the same for White Rabbit. And 10 seconds remaining. That should do it. No, still saved by Weak Casper, but 10 seconds, practically impossible. A very, very good start for the bros. For White Rabbit Gaming, a little bit of a disaster, but it is only game 1. So you got quite a bit of time here, considering it's a best of 5, not a best of 3 and a best of 1. But definitely a worrying start for White Rabbit and the bros. I mean, they looked pretty good. Look at that. Look at the opportunities they had. I mean, I was wrong, I suppose. I said I felt like it seemed somewhat even, but that bros just had better chances and more clear cut. But like, look at that. 12 shots to 8. It's not that big of a difference, but like, look at that Christian just stat padding that game. 8 shots. Oh my. Alright. Let's add that game, shall we? Alright. Alright. Alright, we go into Aquadome. Aquadome is has had some history in RLCS now. It's not. It should be a respected map. I feel like some people really don't like it. I don't really know why. I can understand why you're kind of iffy about it, but like to actively dislike it. Aquadome's alright. It's alright. Come on, guys. But I digress. Yo, Kino here actually able to get that to the backboard by pinching that with a ceiling. Wee Casper. Doesn't look like he got too effective a touch there. Turret keeps it mid. Kino up for that one. Able to anything going still. Yopego. Challenge early there by Wee Casper. That's torturing the defense from the bros early on here. That's White Rabbit Gaming seem to be on the ball the most here. Opportunity potentially, but Kino pinch passes that way too fast. Thus, no goal coming for White Rabbit Gaming in game 2 so far. Pego. Opportunity goes to the backboard. Just to strike it again, but able to keep it in possession. Kino. Here's this one out. Scepter there. Tries to get to the midfield. Abs first that one by a mile. Still got the player to bait themselves in as well. Oh, that looks... I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but Christian will be rewarded with a goal there. Slightly awkward here from the defense. I think it was Wee Casper in the midfield, potentially thinking his teammate was going to be able to get to that one. And thus, the defense being a little bit slow here, actually, from White Rabbit. Guess it's the midfield, but it looks like nobody's ready. Ooh, bump coming out between Wee Casper and Scepter. Looks like the chemistry is not completely on point today for White Rabbit. The ball completely free for the opponents. Aims for the top corner and he hits it perfectly. Top corner shot from Abs. Through the smoke as well. And the bros have just simply been better so far. Capitalizing on their chances. And especially making a lot of chances as well. And White Rabbit's amount of chances have not been that bad, but the opportunities they have had have just lacked a bit of quality, or ice, if you will, the consistency to pull them off. Really results here in a massive goal difference between the teams so far. I will say that I feel like getting just one goal here for White Rabbit Gaming could shift the momentum entirely, but it's easier said than done to get that one goal. Sweet Casper, able to maintain possession there, but looks like he got pushed a little bit too much, and now play seems to have gone to nowhere practically. Perhaps not able to do too much. Keno pushes this one forward. 2 minutes and a half remaining. Half of the game done. Really need a goal here. Keno able to get this on target. What a passing play. Keno, I feel like he especially has been on the front end of a lot of these attacks and just unable to really make something effective happen. But that time, puts himself in a perfect position. Gets past the wars as well. It's a great finish by Keno. White Rabbit Gaming might just be beginning to gel here. Keno again. Ooh, actually gets it past the last defender. Yopega a little bit awkward here. It looks like Rose got away with it just for now. You know, getting this onto the backboard. Looks like nothing's coming with this play so far. Casper gets another touch. Yopego backflip as well. Slightly nerves potential here coming in for the Bros after they've put themselves in such a good position. They're really desperate to maintain it, I suppose. So that might be one of the factors why all of a sudden things have changed. Keno going for that bump slightly off the mark. So close to working out Scepter. Evolved in that play earlier. A great pass off to Keno to put themselves within one. Casper. Have to wait a little bit longer to see what he can do. Still yet to be part of a goal of this series, to my knowledge. Even though the Bros haven't really been effective since their 2-goal lead in their offensive opportunities, very often hitting the ball somewhere where a teammate isn't, but it is delaying the chances from White Rabbit whilst not really committing themselves. So I think they're just trying to play cautiously to maintain this lead heading into the latter stage of this match. Now only 36 seconds remaining. Scepter going for that backward, but looks like Christian's got it covered completely fine. Ball coming onto midfield, and Abs actually not pushing out what potentially he should have. Keno with a shot opportunity, and he will strike again. A second goal, the brace for Keno. And now I have to say, whilst I was saying that the Bros looked like they were trying to play cautious, sometimes when you're trying to maintain a lead late on into the game, you can play too cautious, just leave the ball in positions where you're really giving away just everything. The ball, just the free opportunity for the opponents, because you can give away the ball, and that's fine. When you give them the ball in a dangerous position, that's when it becomes really problematic, and that's exactly what they've done here. Oh, almost another shot opportunity from Keno. Really seems to be on the shot. Seems to have the last touch on every shot here. Every play coming from White Rabbit. And we go into overtime. Christian to beat one. Scepter completely out of the play for a while. You know, again, he's been very, very smart so far. A good 50. Scepter to be first to that one. Gets it into the opposition corner. Pego. It's a decent clear. Perfectly for Christian to get a touch, but it's not the greatest. Be Casper. Passes it back to Keno. Starts his mechanical play in the air, but it looks like Abs. No issues to deal with that one. Scepter, free shot on net. Didn't get a comfortable touch there. And play seems to go away now. Abs. High boost situation here. Gets a decent 50 off to the side as we enter the blue half. Keno fast enough on that play to stop that one. Very, very smart bump coming out from the Bros. Christian in the air here. Pega with a lot of boost. Might potentially be going for a clip. Oh, double tap a 10, but it's nowhere near the target there. It's White Rabbit Gaming. They hold on for now, but Pego. Slightly awkward there, but he gets up perfectly to his teammate in the corner. But if you're the Bros fan, you really want your team to play slightly more progressive, because it really feels like they're about to concede, as they're giving away the ball a lot in these situations. Here, shot for Scepter potentially, gets it behind one defender, nowhere near targets. You know, tries to maintain a dangerous position. I'm slipping my words slightly there. Casper tried to do his best there, but unable to get the play to a dangerous position there. Maintaining the boost, just has to flick one, gets one out of the play pretty much. Keno gets this one onto the backboard, has to get the backboard read. Gasper slightly misread that one. The shot coming out from Scepter just not good enough to beat the defense. Pego goes off to the other side. Shot coming through, easily saved by Casper. But he put his team in a difficult situation. Keno with a good save. Another shot coming through. But it did not challenge defense whatsoever, as we're back into the orange half. Big clear from Pego. Now we find ourselves back into the orange half yet again. A lot of big clears coming out from both teams, a lot of big challenges. Perhaps our play is going less creative as we're getting into a very, very tense part of the game. White Rabbit Gaming will be desperate to win this one. They have had most of the momentum in this overtime and heading into it as well. Bros absolutely dominant beforehand, but since then, since the two goals that they've scored, it's been all White Rabbit Gaming pretty much. Ball coming into the midfield. Keno beaten easily by Christian. Good defense here coming up from the Bros. Casper gets it to the midfield. Scepter there, but it's saved by Christian yet again, and they stay alive. The Bros holding on for dear life, but it really seems like they've been detained and held in custody in their own half in overtime. As White Rabbit Gaming absolutely in control here so far. Whoa, I thought for a second Keno was going to miss that one, but seems like he's just fine. But I do think everybody's getting a little bit more nervous here, and it could be potentially a giant mistake that will cause the last goal in this game, rather than a very impressive outplay, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, heading into 4 minutes, almost, of overtime. We'll see if we could reach it. That would be great. Or else my statement was technically wrong. We need to head into 4 minutes, guys. Let's do it. Unless we score. Unless White Rabbit scores. Then it's fine. Okay, there we go. Looks like nobody wants to be the one that makes the mistake here. Slightly off target, and Keno able to get a redirect yet again. Keno, what a shot and what a performance from him. A hat-trick coming out for him. Casper clanging that one, and I think it was slightly off target. And even if it wasn't, it doesn't matter, because Keno able to secure that one. And White Rabbit Gaming able to shift the momentum completely in that game. It really looked like the Bros were taking control, but that they did not by the end of the game too. It looked all White Rabbit Gaming. Just complete control over that game after they they were 2 goals down. And now the Bros, I mean, looking at the rest of that game, they'll have trouble, based on my expectations, to do well in the next one. I think it is looking good for White Rabbit Gaming. At the start, it looked so lackluster. It's kind of similar to the first series, to be completely honest. Only difference is that the opponents were a bit better, and it showed they got punished for a lot of these mistakes a lot more. But it looks like they've really reached a new level, and the Bros will have trouble getting their momentum back into this series. But it's definitely been a very, very tight affair between the two. So definitely excited to go into the next match. As we head into DFH Stadium, I think that's what this map is. First to the ball will be Scepter there. Looks like able to get to a teammate. That's kind of what the kickoff is sometimes. It's just, you know, you're just trying to beat someone, but maybe there's not a large picture to get it to somebody. You know, the brains only start really turning on after the kickoff, you know. But it does make sense. Being slow off the kickoff to just feel like you put yourself at an advantage from the start, so maybe that is what the players have in mind. Perhaps pushing this one to the side, looks like really do anything too much, and it's a good 50 from Kino, but it looks like nobody from the blue side will be able to capitalize. Kino trying to play patiently, looking for a mistake out of the defense of the Bros. They hold on just fine within this first minute of game number 3. You know, unable to get anything off there. Here, Abs trying to go for a redirect. That's it off to the backboard. Pego unable to get there in time. It looks like every player has been beaten. Wee Casper with an open net, and this time Kino will not secure it. Wee Casper, his first goal of this series, and I think that's that bodes well for the team. A bit of confidence coming out for Wee Casper now that he's scored potentially. So I expect even better from him from now on as well. Now, let's share the goals. Let's give one to Scepter 2. Ooh, 50, very, very awkward, just slightly off target. But it was threatening to say the least. Ball now off to the side. Wee Casper will be the one on it. Able to air dribble the defense here. Abs doing very, very well. And Abs has actually quite impressed me this series, I have to say. I did not know anything about him, but I feel like he's really made himself worthy to be known in this series. Scepter off to the side, looks like he's unable to follow it up afterwards. Wee Casper playing this one patiently, yeah, a little bit risky, and shot coming out. Pego slightly off the mark there. As their play does get shut down by the crossbar, if you will. As Casper pushes this one forward, looking for that 50. Gets a decent one, looks like will be the one on it first. Not the greatest shot coming out from Kino. It's a good save by Christian, if I remember correctly. Emma coming out from Christian. The blue defense makes itself a little bit awkward. Kino able to save that one. Pego, he had a fairly good opportunity there after the demo that came through. But it's a good stop by Kino, keeping his team in the lead. 1-0 heading into the second half of the match, and not just by stats but also by mechanics. Really, Kino has looked very, very impressive and at the forefront of this offense for White Rabbit Gaming. Scepter pushes this one forwards. Pego there to intercept. Goes again, but Wee Casper beats him easily. Another shot comes through, and that, ooh, Abs. I was complimenting him earlier, but that you could already see that really, really early coming in. This little push from Abs when he was beaten by Kino potentially should have just dived and hoped for the best. Because if he didn't go, that was just going to go in, and so it did. Kino now with a goal himself in this game. Sorry, every now and then I look at the leaderboard on accident. I've got this like weird habit of looking at the leaderboard. I feel like I've been quite decent not doing it today, but every now and then it does come out. Look at that, air dribbling everybody on the field. Wee Casper able to get to the net, but it's a good save by Pego. Didn't really have to do too much. But sometimes positioning should be given props to as well. A good fake by Wee Casper, just didn't have the control to really make it work properly. Off to the corner, backs out as well, very smartly so as well. Doesn't want to risk anything late on in this match when they're 2 goals up in the last 40 seconds now. Kino with a big clear. Pego set off to the side. It looks like the Bros really have just not been able to get any offense, really. They've had a couple opportunities, but none of them really look too good, and I would say that White Rabbit has looked fairly clearly the better team this game, though, potentially getting slightly fortunate at some moments. But the Bros, I feel like if they are getting demotivated from this series. I feel they really shouldn't, because they've really shown that they can perform to an extremely high level like they did in Game 1 and the start of Game 2, and if they recreate that, they can definitely go toe-to-toe and potentially beat White Rabbit Gaming. But so far, White Rabbit Gaming have stepped up a level, and they've really demotivated, from what it seems, the Bros, who've had a lot of trouble trying to get back to their form they had earlier. And that's a well-deserved 2-1 lead in this in the series. And I've decided that whilst waiting in the menu, I will charge my laptop, because why not? That's the content you get today, guys. I'm right now plugging in my charger. That's what you get, the in-between game content, guys. Let's go, White Rabbit. Let's go, Psychedelic Squirrel. We appreciate the support for White Rabbit Gaming. The best team in the world! But yeah, the Bros, they don't have any lives left, basically, if they lose this one. This is their last chance, if they will. They cannot lose any games from here. But if they do win this game, they would be quite somewhat clear favorites, I would say, for Game 5. So that's something, to say the least. Oh, what a save by Abs here. Weak Casper coming in with a shot. You know, really pushing the defense here. The maintained offense for a little bit there. Weak Casper, another attempt there. Didn't get anything clean. But Weak Casper really getting a lot of 50s here, as well as Kino. That they're really putting in a lot of 50s onto the offense. In offense against this defense of the Bros, and it really just keeps the ball in their half. There's not much that the Bros can really do to beat one of the opponents. When the opponents have all the boost, they keep 50ing it. They keep beating that player from the Bros afterwards because they just have so much more boost. And eventually, I think the aim would be for White Rabbit to score after just absolutely annihilating the boost possession and the smart 50s to eventually score. I haven't done so quite here. Yopego, a decent hit there. Ooh, Kino slightly off the mark there. Almost snipes it into the bottom corner. And even though that play kind of feathered out, it does feel like generally White Rabbit Gaming just in control of this game, really. It just doesn't really feel like there's much to worry about in this game for White Rabbit. Very, very comfortable so far. Up to here. So no further than Abs, but ineffective touch either from him. Casper looked slightly risky, but he got a decent 50 out to the side. All as well for White Rabbit. Another opportunities after with a bit of a backflip, but Kino's there to cover up. Now Abs, slight miss there, and that'll just end their play completely from the Bros. They get one goal off, that could just change the tide of this match completely. It really doesn't look likely so far. Abs and Yopego, a bit of miscommunication there, whether the solo play was coming out or it was meant to be a pass. The Bros, they just simply do not look like they're on the same page here. Yopego actually gets it out to the back, but Casper with a crucial touch there off the read. Yopego will have to track back as he's the only one back. It's a decent touch away, but I'm able to follow this one up. And the Bros, they really do not look comfortable mechanically, either in their chemistry. Now White Rabbit Gaming, they really should be pouncing on this, really, because their opponents don't look too good right now. They're just missing that one opportunity to capitalize. As we head into a minute and 30 left, not a lot of time left, and remains tied at 0-0. Christian tries to play this one controlled, but the Bros have tried to play control, that doesn't really work out for them, to my opinion, I suppose. Pego trying to 1v1 here, but it actually eventually works out. He has play controlled, and in contrast to what I said, it worked out completely. Very, very good 50 here is basically what this was. And Christian there to score as well. And just like that, the Bros have become a threat. They really haven't been for quite a long time, but just with that play, they've really proven themselves worth more than they have been for quite some time. And White Rubber Gaming will have to step it up a little bit here, because I feel like they really should have done a little bit more within that time. But they've been unable to do so, and we find ourselves here. Kino off to the side. We Casper off to the other side again. After for that backboard, but it's just backboard defense from the Bros. Dealing with that very, very well. Kino now. Opportunity here, trying to confuse the defense. A whiff coming out, but no reception there. The Bros survive just about with their 1-0 lead. Kino down to Wee Casper, almost gets it off, but Abs there to save it in the last second. Scepter will have to start the play for White Rabbit Gaming. 17 seconds remaining now for White Rabbit to tie this one up. Christian pushes this one forward. Scepter doesn't get a controlled touch and actually just gives it away. Wee Casper will have to push it off to the other side to try to sort of play. Kino slightly too slow potentially, as Pego steals the ball off of him and ends the game there and then. And we are going to game 5. The Bros really proving that they're a challenge here. They've been very, very inconsistent. So have White Rabbit. But yeah, I mean, it was just the one good play coming out for Pego to give it a goal for Christian, who was perfect in the perfect position to score it as well. But yeah, very, very, very tight affair here. But I do think I want to say that White Rabbit Gaming, if they lose here, would be a bit of an upset. I feel like they have looked generally better. But you know, if you're just generally looking better, you know, if you lose, you do have to admit that you're just simply not good enough, because when you look better but you do end up losing, it's just you have to be more clinical, and that's the main difference here that they have to make, is make more clinical plays really. As we go into Champions Field here for game 5, starting out Wee Casper with a decent touch there, off to Kino. They really have to start up quick here. We just want a quick lead, you know. We don't want to start the scoring quick. We don't want to go to another overtime. We don't need that. We can just, you know, win 5-0. That's all we need to do here. Oh, a big double commit coming out from Scepter, and Wee Casper off-target opportunity. The defense knew the ball was coming in awkward, and they didn't really want to deal with it in case they own goal. And Christian will get the goal here again, and Christian has really got so many goals here for his team. Definitely very impressive on the offensive end here for the Bros. And yeah, that one goal has really changed the momentum ever since that the Bros got that one goal last game. It has been a bit of a different story here. See Kino, I say see Kino, it's just Kino. Except here with a free shot. Oh, a save coming in from Abs. Thought it was going to be a free shot, but the defense just really quick to that one from the Bros here. Kino looking for a mechanical play. Didn't really look like he got it the way he wanted to. Quite a mention nevertheless. Wee Casper there for a shot, saved again by Christian. You know, what a shot from Kino. What an angle here to really get the momentum back 50-50 between the two teams, coming out of absolutely nowhere to get this one in. And Kino definitely been the MVP here for White Rabbit Gaming here. Ball going into the midfield. Wee Casper really awkward there. Shot slightly off the mark. Scepter does deal with it, but Kino pushes in when he didn't have to. Oh, a shot coming in again, and it didn't really make it worth. Here, pass off to the midfield. Oh, Christian slightly off target. Can he get it on target eventually? No, he can't. Absolute mania. Absolute mania here. Just a bunch of whiffs on the backboard, a bunch of double commits, a bunch of miscommunication, a bunch of open net whiffs. It's everything in this game 5 so far. Definitely entertaining, to say the least. But yeah, I digress. We do through all that mayhem, we do find ourselves in a 1-1 game. Played pretty much half the game now. Christian still had a flip, was able to clear it out with it as well. Very, very impressive. You know, a lot of the time when people go off a ceiling or a certain object or surface rather, sometimes they forget that you still have a flip. You do still have that flip. Regardless of how you got it, you know, and how long ago it was, you do still have that flip in, and I do appreciate recognizing that. Casper trying to make things work, but unable to do so, unfortunately for White Rabbit. The ball coming into the midfield. Casper first to that, will go to the midfield again. Scepter unable to really make anything work, will have to force it high. Pego first to that one, goes no further than Kino, who does get demoed in the process, so very good demo by Pego, cancelling that attack from White Rabbit Scepter. To clear this one out, Pego goes high, gets it above Kino. Casper stays there in defense patiently. Clear from Casper. Gets slightly off the defense. Abs pushes on to his own backboard. Pego there to push it to the side. Looks like he's beating Kino, so he'll be the one on the ball. Ball coming into the midfield. Abs with a shot on target. Saved just about by Casper. And Kino gets it off the line eventually. What a save coming out from White Rabbit Gaming, but they hang on to a thread. Or they hang on by a thread rather. And Pego, I mean, he'll be absolutely demotivated from that, and it's a shot from Casper. Just over the last defender. Oh my. Casper able to get the lead for White Rabbit Gaming, and 1 minute remaining. That might be the difference maker here, and it's going to require a little bit of a resurgence for the Bros to get this last goal to tie it up again. But we're definitely in eventful game 5 here. Casper off to the backboard. Abs able to clear that one out. It's a good demo from Pego. Might just kickstart that momentum for them in this game in the last minute to tie things up. Casper able to get this up to the side. Double commit though, but it looks like he can get the ball far enough to save some time for his team. Up attempt again by Casper. Definitely looks like the speed of the gameplay has increased a little bit here from White Rabbit Gaming. They're definitely gaming here. It's Christian. Poor touch here by Casper. Might even be playing too fast now. My man is zooming. Casper spawned again, and he's instantly up again as well. Abs will be beating him to that one though, as Casper out of boost will have to go for the good old boost canister here. A waterfall touch from the backboard, Auto Scepter, but looks like the defense held on just a little bit more. First shot off to the backboard, no. Casper absolutely fine. A game 5 victory, not even close for White Rabbit Gaming. And what a tight affair, and honestly it looks like the series is pretty much 50-50 here, and White Rabbit Gaming will be the ones with the victory.